for the March 3rd meeting and in conjunction with the final reading of this, Jesse Richardson, the lead attorney for the law clinic, will make himself available to talk about the planning process and potential outcomes. So I would like to give him a little time on the agenda, as well as just for the final reading, and would also point to the commission that we need to appoint planning commissioners upon approval of this ordinance.
This be at the next meeting,
March
the next
3rd.
meeting, March 3rd.
Is that the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me, I don't know what it is that you guys, what is a planning committee?
Jesse Richardson.
Do you wish to take questions?
I do.
I don't know what is it that you do? What do you do? What is a planning committee? What is it that you actually go out and do?
I work for the Economic Development Authority here.
To do what?
Pardon?
To do what? What do you do? Explain something that you go out and do. I don't understand what this was all about.
The planning commission,
Yeah, what is
I'm
it?
quite aware of it. I have property in Berkeley County, that's why I come to this meeting. When the planning commission is instituted, it takes your privilege away from your property.
Oh, see, I was, okay.
In other words, you've got to do anything but a garage.
Oh,
You
no,
have-
I don't like that.
You have to meet them, and they have to approve it.
No.
You have to get permits.
No, that is wrong.
Engineers, attorneys,
No.
surveyors.
Just a moment. Let's try to talk one at a time.
Well, then,
Well, he's
You only
explaining
explained
it
to her
to
what-
me. I didn't understand what he was talking about, and now he's explaining it to me. Now it dawns on me what it is you do. To me, you have no right to come on my property that I pay taxes on and take care of, and then tell me what I can and cannot
I know
build.
exactly what to do.
Now, if that's what this
Not
is
every day.
about, no, that's wrong.
Excuse me, but the law that Section 8 is attached to does just what Mr. McGill says that it does. But what you're trying to do is have a planning commission to set up a strategic plan.
Comprehensive plan.
Yeah, and the law goes way further than what your comprehensive plan is.
Planning in Kanawha County will look a lot different than it does.
Yeah,
I don't care about
Comprehensive
Kanawha
planning
County.
in Brooke County will look like.
I don't care. You don't have a right
But
to
what
come on my
you're
property.
trying to do and what
Just get a plan.
Yeah, but the law takes it a whole lot further than what a simple plan is, a simple countywide plan is.
Make a comment. If you want to know what this man does, he is very much responsible for the good things that you see in this county that he
Like
brings.
what? Tell me these good things.
The streetscape that is going on.
What's
That will
this-
be a
explain
wonderful.
this.
Okay, when it comes, we don't have the time to go into that
Well, I had
detail.
time to listen to this, and I want to be explained to, because to me, if it's what he just said, and we've heard about this before, I don't have a right to come on your property and say, ma'am, you can't build that building unless you pay this amount of money to me.
I'm telling
That's
you,
wrong.
I'm just informing you of what this
That's,
man does.
Well, if
He
that's
is the
part of it,
economic
then I don't
develop-
like it.
He's the economic development director. And it's his job to do exactly what it says, to
What?
bring economic development into our county that has been in much need for years upon years. And we would
Upon whose dime?
we would not have the new streets that are coming in.
I have a
here.
road that has potholes the size of a freaking house, and you're telling me you're taking care of the street?
Everybody in Doddridge County has potholes.
Well,
in their road.
exactly.
You're
So
welcome to
let's
come
take
up
some of this-
my road. Now, if you let me respond, what
Well,
you
respond.
and Frank, and I know Frank and respect to Frank, you're talking about zoning. Zoning is covered under the same section of code that comprehensive planning is. That's not, nobody's ever mentioned for 2 years in this process the word zoning. We want a comprehensive plan that complies with the code for a variety of reasons. It opens up a lot of economic development potential to have this that complies with state code. Doddridge County doesn't, it leaves a lot of money on the table because we don't comply with a lot of different things. We've never gone after
So you're not doing the
some of these
zoning
things.
thing?
I personally am against zoning because
Okay.
I want to put a medical waste incinerator in her hall. And right now, I can do it.
Bullshit.
Well, I mean, I'm not, this is not about zoning. It is about planning. Yes, it's covered under the same section of code. Both of those are. A lot of things are covered. That section of code is a ½ inch thick.
Does it go together, hurt your zoning?
What's that?
Your zoning and planning to go into conjunction?
No, you do
You have
not have.
residential, you have commercial,
You
you
do
have
not.
industrial?
No,
We
you
don't
do
have
not
to do that
have
in
to.
those
You
counties.
do
That's gonna be
not
different from
have.
Berkeley County then, I'll say
Frank,
that.
you don't have to zone. You do not absolutely have to zone just because you've got a plan.
I don't know that, I don't know what involved here.
Well, I'm telling you, you don't
That's what I'm
have
trying to
to.
get straightened out. That's why I'm here. I don't want to see this happen in the county.
Oh,
It took me 5 years to get my permits up here in Berkeley
Yeah.
County. And I can show you evidence. From April 1989 to April 1994, before I got one permit. $1,000 invested.
Let me ask a question. You can have a planning commission without zoning?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking her.
I don't think so.
I think absolutely, and we'll also ask Jesse Richardson that on March.
You can have but you can't have zoning without a planning commission?
That is correct.
Okay. So there's no guarantee, or there's no requirement that zoning goes along with
You
this?
just run around back.
That would be a separate issue, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the planning commission has no authority to zone. She was talking about the governing bodies. The governing bodies in this case, since it's a joint between the city and the county, will be the city of West Union and the county commission.
We're the only
or
ones that
governing
have the-
bodies.
We're the only ones that have the authority to zone, is what you're saying? To
Yes.
approve zoning?
Yes.
Okay.
And you are right, you can do planning without zoning. You do not have to do zoning at all.
Does that answer questions for people?
So in other words,
copy
you
that.
would be the ones that make the
I wanna
choice.
copy what it does. I want
If
to
you
turn it,
enforce
review
that
that.
zoning,
Sure.
that's what it boils down to. It all comes back to you.
Yeah.
You decide that.
Okay, I have a question. If this plan, that, on the state code that it's all in and it's okay by, does include zoning, even though you're saying it's not going to be used for zoning,
You would have to include it in.
can we put something in there that says it's not going to be used for zoning? Because you aren't the three that are going to be on here forever,
I wouldn't know you could do that.
and we don't know who's going to be on the next council. So,
I don't know that
If you do that, it won't comply with code, there's no need
Yeah.
with doing something.
well,
This
it's
would all be a waste of
protected.
time if we did that.
Well, it's a protection if, I think that it seems at this point, nobody in here wants zoning.
I do.
Well, that's fine, but if you don't want zoning, you're doing this, then you're opening the door for zoning too.
Zoning can be a good thing.
Yes, it can.
Right.
Yes,
Can I,
it can.
may I speak, is it okay? One of the questions I have from listening to this reading, something that was read made it appear like this commission would not have to follow the open meeting laws?
It's not in
There's
there.
nothing ever been read or said about that, I'm pretty sure.
There was.
It's not in there.
Part,
It's not in there, you talk about
There was a certain part that
posting.
said that if you just scheduled the meeting at your regularly scheduled meeting, that you did not have to do any kind of public announcements to announce when the next meeting would be. Which to me would be not following the so-called open meeting laws. So I was questioning, it was section 2 under section 6.
But even if
And
it's not,
the zoning aspect, if this provides for that, I mean, I was asking for this years ago. And part of it, if we had zoning, it might help protect people's personal property as far as having a well pad put right next to their property. Or having something like the Mark West plant go in right next to people's residential areas. So zoning, if it's done in a relatively good manner, can be something that can protect private property in the county.
You keep a medical waste incinerator out of your law.
Well, I would tend to agree with what Ms. Beamer said earlier. Try it. I know where you live, Herc.
The meetings, so far as I know, are open meetings. And
But it doesn't state it in.
my understanding, because I think that's just covered in general in law by anything that the county commission establishes. I mean,
Well, her,
they
what
have
it
to do
says,
that.
what
The
it
other
says-
thing of it is, my understanding is that planning commission will probably, in the year's time approximately that it takes to do the plan, will only meet 4, 5, 6 times, whatever. The rest of the work will be done with groups of people in the county.
I have a question from just something that he just said. Is this commission a temporary commission?
Nope.
Oh, okay, well, if it's not a temporary commission, then how often they're gonna meet over the next year or 2 years or whatever to get?
I think it says in there that they're required to meet 4 times a year.
Right. But it also says, notice for a special meeting must be in writing, including date, time, and place of the special meeting.
That's
Aha.
what-
See, right there, you're interpreting that to be any meeting, and it says
That's
a
the
special meeting.
Okay, and be sent to all the members at least 2 days before the special meeting.
That's not, doesn't deal with the public.
It doesn't deal with
So a
regular
special
meetings.
meeting doesn't mean that that's not open anymore?
Doesn't deal with the public.
It says, what it says there, that
Well,
a
that's what I'm
special meeting.
asking, is the special meeting mean that that meeting is not open to the public?
I don't know that it would be open or wouldn't be open to the public. It just wouldn't have to be published, is my interpretation for the special meeting. So, but that's my interpretation. You know, and if it gets to that point, I'm sure that our assistant prosecutor will be more than happy to help us out at that point.
In Berkeley County, they put your name on the list. If there's 20 of you, you appear before the commission, and they take you in order. If it's bond reduction or anything to do with your properties, you either approve or disapprove.
Right.
If they disapprove it, you've got another 4 months to go, or 3 or 4 months before you get on the agenda again.
Yeah, what it says is that they're required to have four meetings a year, which would be approximately every 3 months. But they can have more meetings as necessary.
Well, the more we discuss this, and actually at the previous readings, we really didn't have much discussion, but it appears to me that the more we discuss this, it seems like the more needs to be spelled out to eliminate problems potentially for the governing body of the county as well as for the county citizens. I mean, I'm just, I hate to put anybody through this process, but we have a right to voice our opinions. But it just seems the interpretations of what we're reading here are really
Vague.
There's a lot of avenue for interpretation.
Well, I think everybody's been allowed to speak their opinion. So. But anyway, this is the second reading, and the third reading will be on the 3rd of March, and we will have the, what's his title?
Lead attorney for the
The lead attorney.
land use.
And I'm assuming that we'll be able to ask him questions. I'm assuming he will be available to respond. Item B, comprehensive plan